The Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
You're riding Morning Shotgun with the Armchair Quarterbacks. We're here weekdays, streaming on the Armchair Quarterbacks app. Download it today. Your first choice for sports talk here on the First Coast.
Armchair Quarterback Radio.
You're riding Morning Shotgun with the Armchair Quarterback.
Finish.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s wins its World Championship. A liner off Maggie's goal in the center field. The World Series. Gracious. Fittingly with a throw, the Yankees have done it again. Number 24. They are the world champions of baseball in 1998. Chance of a lifetime for Luis Gonzalez. 2-2, bottom of the ninth, game 7 of the World Series. Bases loaded. Forward, center field. The Diamondbacks are world champion. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions. In the air to left, well hit. Back is Craig. What a team. What a ride. The Cardinals are world champs.
Armchair.
Anyone got a stapler? Got a lot of forms, and there's a slight breeze in here.
Law, because paperwork is dramatic. Catch it Thursdays on Weasel before it catches you.
If dating is the game, then marriage is winning the game.
Yeah, if you're playing in the women's league.
You wouldn't believe how many guys wanted to play here. We had to beat him off with a stick. The Ty Cobb wanted to play. None of us could stand the son of a when we were alive, so we told him to stick it.
It's important to remember the value of taking time for ourselves to do the things that help us grow and explore, like learning something new. And now with the Great Courses Plus, it's never been easier to experience the joys of learning. The Great Courses Plus offers thousands of streaming videos that cover hundreds of fascinating topics, from World War II to choosing the perfect wine. You can even take a course on the U.S. government or dealing with stress and anxiety. And because the Great Courses Plus partners with world-class professors and experts, you're always receiving thoroughly vetted, high-quality content from every lecture. Plus, you can watch or listen anytime, anywhere with the Great Courses Plus app. So take a little time for you. Sign up for the Great Courses Plus today for a free month of unlimited access. Visit thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio to get started. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio.
Can't be taking advice from a nun and a hippie.
By all means, seek out the supreme wisdom of the junkie philosopher.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground.
Good morning and welcome to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Today, as we're going to get you caught up in the world of sports here in just a flash. So we'll get you set up for the Wake Up Y'all show today. And for you Florida State fans out there, it is Florida State Day. We're also doing Penn State as well. So that is why this gear is out. And I've got the Bobby Bowden shirt. And so looking forward to that. But this is Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So we will get rolling in what is going on in the world of sports. Yankees beat the Braves last night. I'll tell you what, as a Braves fan, I'm going to say this. I still loved that game. That was one of the greatest games I've seen all year. But the umpiring was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Freddie Freeman was definitely safe at home plate. If you watch that a million times over, his foot gets in before the tag hits him in the rear. Terrible call by the umpire on the field, who had the best look at it, which was pathetic. And then the umpires who did not have the stones, they didn't have the guts to make the right call. Instead, they went with we didn't have enough to overturn it. I don't understand what the point of having replay in sports if you're not going to use common sense and have the stones to overturn something. You can look at the two clips coming in and coming from behind, and you can see it in real time. You can deduce there's no way in hell he tagged him. This is just like the thing that happened with the Phillies at the opening weekend. It was a Sunday night, but it was opening weekend. Terrible call by the umpires, and Major League Baseball umpires continue to do a terrible job. This is a full-time job. This isn't a half-assed job. This is a full-time job, and you expect to be better at your job. They are not. They are terrible, and the more and more we get replay, the more and more it actually gets exposed. All right. Moving on from that, we've got a couple other things that went down in the world of sports, and let's go ahead and dive into them. First of all, the Pac-12, Big Ten, and ACC alliance took place. The agreement, essentially, it's a promise to schedule more games with each other. That's it. We'll get more into it at the bottom of the hour, but that's essentially it. There really was nothing to it, to be perfectly honest with you. But it sounds good if you're a Pac-12 fan. This is really more for the Pac-12. Big Ten, ACC teams, they don't have a hard time getting teams scheduled. This is for the Pac-12. So we'll see if we get some actual juggernaut games. And I've got a list that I'm going to go into and wake up y'all. So we look forward to that. Breaking news this morning, Serena Williams has withdrawn from the U.S. Open. Says it's a hamstring problem. She has not looked like she's been in shape since she's came back from the kid. And I don't know if that might have been compounded and that's what caused the hamstring issue, or has she had hamstring issues and that's why she can't get in shape? Regardless, she announces that she wants to complete Healy. She's trying to tie Margaret Court's all-time record. So she doesn't really care about playing in these tournaments if she can't win. And so she will take, I would say I guess she'd take the rest of the year off. Get healthy, get ready for the Australian, get ready for the French, the whole gamut next year. And I would say you're only going to see her in majors. It's the only thing that's going to help her brand even more. Not that her brand needs helping, but that's what you're looking at. She wants to beat Margaret Court's all-time record, and she will not be. So that's going to be a big draw against the actual, in the whole scheme of things. This is going to hurt, in my opinion, the ratings. I think a lot of people tune in to see Serena, whether they're fans of her or not. They tune in to see her, especially the American fans. It may not make a big deal on the national scale. I mean, on the international scale, but this will make a big difference. And they are set to start next week, because remember, it's a 2-week event and they always finish the Sunday when NFL begins. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Right now, they should be playing tennis. They should be playing tennis right now. We have nothing realistically to watch during the day games. Maybe there's a baseball game here or there, but there's no championship stuff going on. It's so dumb. Instead, they're going to wait. It would be so on the money and on the nose to have your championship played in the U.S. Open. The tennis championship would be played on Labor Day weekend. Why not? People could take the entire weekend off. They could go to New York on most years. I know this year's weird, but they could go to New York. They could enjoy their tennis. No, you do it the week after when kids are back in school, et cetera. So dumb on so many levels. Not only should CBS, who's the main carrier of this for the championships, CBS should demand it. ESPN, who carries the early rounds, they should demand it. And the entire U.S. Open committee should get it done. It would make much more sense. Why the hell do you want to compete with college football in the National Football League? You're not even top 4 sport right now. It really is dumbfounding. Okay. We will see if who else may or may not pull up because of the pandemic and whatnot, but Serena's pulling up because of her hamstring. The running back trade that happened last night, or officially announced early Wednesday morning, the LA Rams have acquired Sony Michel from the Patriots in a deal in which it's going to be the New England Patriots are going to receive 2 conditional draft picks, one in the 5th round and another in the 6th, which the Rams announced on Wednesday. It's all conditional. There's no need to get into it, but basically it's Darrell Henderson, and it will now be Sony Michel backing him up. That's a big deal if you're in the fantasy football world. Other thing is, despite Man City trying to bring him out, Kane will stay with the Tottenham Hotspurs. So if you're a Tottenham Hotspur fan like I am, you are happy about that. Jaguars running back Etienne, he is done for the damn season. That little foot sprain that they mentioned on Monday night, well, it ended up being a much more serious injury, and he is done for the season. A wasted draft pick by Urban Meyer and company. I've said this all along. They shouldn't have went out and drafted a running back in the 1st round. I know you can't project the damn injuries, but at offensive lineman was the need there, and they overlooked it. So now they're going to have him on the IR. It'll be James Robinson once again. They'll have a few other guys in the committee, and we'll see how that goes. I will say that this probably more people are being focused on the fact that they're going to jump up and grab James Robinson in your fantasy drafts. What I look at is Laviska Shenault becomes a little more valuable, because I think he will be put in places where ETN was essentially going to be put at. All right. Looking at Major League Baseball today, real quick before we get out of here, getting ready for the bottom of the hour. Wake up, y'all, 8:30 every morning. All right, here we go. The Atlanta Braves, they're still 4.5 and 6.5 in front of the Phillies and Mets because all 3 of them lost yesterday. The Brewers gained a game on the Reds. They beat Cincinnati. San Francisco is still 2.5 up on the Dodgers as San Fran won and LA won. LA beat the Padres. They're just getting drummed. And the Giants beat New York. Tampa Bay won. Yankees won. Red Sox won. So no changes there. And then the Astros are now 4.5 up on the A's. The A's will host the New York Yankees starting tomorrow, 4-game series. Big series in Oakland as they're fighting for their playoff lives. We'll probably get into the actual numbers of that tomorrow. All right. And looking at the games today really quick, what do you got on the docket? You're going to be looking at some early action. Cardinals hanging on for their playoff lives. They will host the Tigers today. There's a doubleheader with the Rockies and Cubs this afternoon. I don't think anyone really cares about that, even Rockies and Cubs fans at this point. And then Rays and Phillies tonight at 7:05. Red Sox are at home against the Twins. Pavetta's on the mound. And you've got the Giants and Mets are back at it. Walker and Cueto. That should be a fun one. And then, of course, the Braves are, by the way, if you're a Braves fan, they're off the next 2 days. So they get to rest their bullpen, et cetera, getting ready for the Giants series. And then you also have the Dodgers and Padres back at it. Buehler and Blake Snell. The Reds and Luis Castillo versus Brandon Woodruff. Probably the pitching matchup of the day. We're going to go ahead and start to get out of here, but I do want to hit you with this date in history because this is a pretty good one. In 1979, on this date, Hollywood stars versus the media. They played a game in Dodger Stadium, and the great comedian Robin Williams of the star hit series Mork and Mindy at the time, he at one point runs the bases backwards. And of course, it's all a shtick, as he says, you know, this is very common on my planet Orc. But to the point of this, I wish they would do this more often. Not with the media. No one cares about the media. They're a bunch of jackasses, me included. I would like to see more of this Hollywood stars. They used to do more of this. Remember, I think it was ABC that used to do Battle of the Network Stars. That was fun stuff. That was really fun stuff. You don't see that anymore. And I guess a lot of it has to do with the fact that you have so many different outlets, but just find some people who are in your movies and your television shows and get them out there and play. I don't know if the athletes or actors would not play nowadays because they would worry about their brand, but I think the younger ones would. And I think it would be a lot of fun. You get a little bit of it with the softball games, but I would like to see more of the Battle of the Network Stars come back because they had everything. They had tug of war. They had, there would be like canoeing, all kinds of, they had the obstacle course, which is always a lot of fun. Bring that back. I would watch that. Give me more of that and less of these damn quote unquote game shows that they throw all over the place, like Wipeout. I don't need to see another commercial about Wipeout of something that I will never watch in my lifetime. Battle of the Network Stars, bring that back. We'll see you tomorrow.
Me out to the ball game.